I was driving from Illinois to Montana for my sister's wedding, a freelance graphic designer by trade, and someone who always found peace in solitude, especially on long stretches of highway. The open road, with its hypnotic hum and endless horizon, had always been where I could think best. Ideas for clients, sketches for potential logos, colors for branding palettes. Out there, it was just me, my thoughts, the whisper of tires on asphalt, and the occasional coffee-fueled pit stop. That morning, I'd left home early, just before sunrise, hoping to get halfway across Nebraska before stopping for the night. I was sipping lukewarm coffee from a travel mug and listening to an old indie playlist when I first noticed the black Chevy Tahoe. It was at a gas station just outside Des Moines, Iowa. The vehicle was parked in the corner, near the air pump, partly in shadow. Tinted windows, dark as obsidian. Illinois plates, like mine. At first, I didn't think anything of it. Maybe just a coincidence. Maybe not even worth noticing. But what lingered in my mind was the fact that the driver never got out. Not to pump gas. Not to grab snacks. Not even to stretch. Just sat there, engine idling. I couldn't see their face, not even a hint of a profile. Just the vague outline of someone in the driver's seat, obscured by the blackness of the windows. I shook it off. Paranoia, maybe. Still, I took my time inside the gas station, checking my phone and pretending to browse longer than I needed to. When I returned to my car, the Tahoe was still there. I got back on I-80, thinking that was the end of it. But 20 minutes later, I saw it again in my rearview mirror. 3 cars behind me, holding steady, keeping my pace. I told myself I was being silly. It's a common car, I reasoned. Could be anyone. But I couldn't ignore the growing weight in my stomach, the tingle crawling up my spine like ants on skin. I turned the music down and focused on the road, my heartbeat ticking faster than it should. At a rest area in Nebraska, somewhere near Kearney, I pulled off for a quick break. The sun was beginning to sink, casting long shadows over the lot. Families were stretching their legs, truckers were leaning against rigs, sipping from giant mugs. I parked and glanced casually around, telling myself again that I was just being cautious. And then I saw it. The black Tahoe pulled in slowly, almost deliberately, and parked far away from everyone else, near the edge of the lot. It sat beneath a flickering light, the only vehicle in that area. No one got out, no movement inside, just the faint hum of its engine, blending with the chirping cicadas and the hiss of wind. The back of my neck prickled with something I didn't want to name. I stood by my car, pretending to scroll through my phone, watching out of the corner of my eye. Still nothing. I told myself to calm down. Maybe the driver was tired. Maybe they were just stopping to nap. But my gut was screaming something else entirely. Something primal and wordless. I got back in the car and pulled out, not toward the highway, but down a narrow exit without any gas signs. Just a cracked road leading into a nearby town. I didn't care about getting lost. I just needed to shake the weight of that vehicle behind me. The small town was quiet, almost too quiet. Only a few houses, some with porches filled with dusty chairs, and a single, old-fashioned gas station with a faded red roof and creaking sign. The pump looked like it hadn't been upgraded since the 80s. But there was a young clerk inside, and that was enough for me. As I pumped gas, still on edge, I looked up, and my blood turned cold. The Tahoe. It rolled past slowly, like a shark in the shallows. Engine low, the hum vibrating through the pavement. It didn't stop. Just drove by, made a lazy U-turn at the end of the block, and parked directly across the street, facing me. The driver never got out, just sat there, watching. The hairs on my arms stood up. My fingers trembled so badly, I dropped the gas cap. I picked it up, fumbled it back on, and climbed into the car, locking the doors immediately. I took off down side streets, heart pounding so loud, I thought it would echo off the buildings. I turned left, right, left again, randomly, recklessly, anything to lose that thing. When I finally returned to I-80, I didn't see the Tahoe. Not right away. And for the first few miles, I actually let myself believe I'd lost it. I rolled the windows down and let the wind cool my face, trying to laugh off the whole thing. Just a weird day, a weird car, a weird coincidence. My nerves were shot, but at least it was over. But then, headlights. Too close? The Tahoe shot up behind me, then veered into the left lane and passed, slowly, like it was showing itself on purpose. Then it slipped in front of me, slowed to match my speed, and began the sickest game I've ever been a part of. It braked suddenly, and I had to slam mine to avoid hitting it. I tried to pass. Once, twice, 3 times. But each time, it swerved, blocking me, like it was playing. I was crying now, gripping the wheel with both hands, breathing hard, panicking. Then the hazard lights came on. Blink, 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 a pattern, deliberate, mechanical, hypnotic. The driver's window rolled down, just a crack. Then a pale arm emerged, hanging limp at first before it slowly began to move, beckoning. A slow, creepy curl of fingers, inviting me to pull over. I screamed, out loud. No one could hear me. My phone had no signal. I held it up anyway, desperate, hoping for a bar to blink into existence. Nothing. Elm Creek. A sign blurred past on my right. An exit. I yanked the wheel so hard I thought I'd flip. The tires shrieked, the car fishtailed. But I kept control. I took the ramp fast, too fast, but I made it. My heart was hammering. I looked in the mirror just in time to see the Tahoe streak past the exit, unable to follow. Relief crashed into me like a wave, almost making me nauseous. I drove into town, finding a brightly lit truck stop with dozens of cars and semi-trucks parked around it. I pulled in and parked near the front entrance, then ran inside like something was chasing me. Maybe it was. My legs were shaking so hard I could barely stand. A middle-aged woman behind the counter saw me, pale and out of breath, and without asking, picked up the phone. She called the state police. By the time the trooper arrived, I'd managed to stop crying, but only barely. My skin felt too tight, like it didn't belong to me. I tried to explain what happened, my voice trembling. We walked out to my car together, the trooper a calm presence beside me. That's when I saw the note, tucked neatly under my windshield wiper. My stomach turned ice cold. I didn't want to touch it, but the trooper carefully pulled it out and unfolded it. Blue ink. Perfect handwriting. You remind me of her. Especially when you're scared. I almost vomited. My whole body felt violated, like that person had been closer than I'd thought. Maybe even touched my car while I was inside the truck stop. Maybe even watched me again. They put me in a small motel for the night, one close to the police station. It was nothing fancy, peeling wallpaper, a faint musty smell, but the door had a bolt, and that was enough. I didn't sleep. At 3 a.m., when the world is at its quietest and loudest all at once, I heard the sound of an engine. Not just any engine. That deep, guttural hum that had haunted me all day. I crept to the window, barely moving the curtain aside. There it was. The Tahoe. Crawling through the parking lot like a predator in tall grass, moving slowly between rows of parked vehicles. My mouth went dry. My breath caught. I wanted to scream, but didn't want them to know I was watching. The vehicle paused in front of my Honda. The brake lights glowed. It didn't move for nearly a full minute. Then, it drove away. I stood frozen at the window for what felt like hours. The next morning, the trooper came to check on me. He told me I wasn't alone. 2 other women had reported similar stories along I-80. A black Tahoe, A man inside, following, toying, trying to make them stop. A detective later contacted me. They had traced a man to Indiana, another long stretch of highway. He was arrested on unrelated charges, but when they searched his vehicle, they found a set of notebooks. Pages filled with observations, timestamps, locations, notes on women. Women like me. One page had my license plate number, my description, and the chilling words, wedding in Montana, traveling alone, resembles Catherine. I never found out who Catherine was. I still think about it sometimes.